I thought I would even bring in some other directors. And then Bill said, no, you're directing every episode. I said, really? He said, yes.
A Different World was a show that had to fire its biggest star just to survive. Behind the laughter and life lessons at Hillman College, a battle was raging. It was a fight over secrets, control, and the very soul of the show. The actors we loved didn't just leave. They were pushed out, made gambles, and had their lives changed forever. This is the real untold story of why they walked away. The star who was pushed out.
I'd say that I still consider them good friends, but I haven't really talked to anyone. Actually, I ran into Tempest not so long ago, but...
Yeah.
A Different World was never supposed to be a show about an ensemble. It was built for one person and one person only, Lisa Bonet. She was the impossibly cool Denise Huxtable on The Cosby Show, a character so popular that she was given her own series to lead. The entire show was created to follow Denise's journey as she left the safety of her family's home and entered the new world of Hillman College, a fictional historically black college, or HBCU. The show was her vehicle, and she was its undisputed star. But the first season felt a little off. Critics and even the show's own creators felt it wasn't a real look at life at an HBCU. It was missing the energy, the culture, and the truth. To fix this, a new creative force was brought in for Season 2. Her name was Debbie Allen, a powerhouse director and a graduate of a real HBCU, Howard University. She was hired to make the show authentic, to give it a soul. But just as she arrived, a crisis hit that would change everything. During the summer break in 1988, Lisa Bonet made an announcement that sent shockwaves through the production. She and her husband at the time, musician Lenny Kravitz, were expecting their first child. For Debbie Allen, this was not a problem. It was a gift. She was excited by the news and saw a golden opportunity for the show. She wanted to write the pregnancy into Denise's storyline. Allen believed that showing a young, pregnant student navigating college life would be a powerful and relatable story, something real and important for their audience to see. But there was one person who disagreed, and his opinion was the only one that mattered. Bill Cosby, the creator of both The Cosby Show and A Different World, said no. His decision was final and absolute. He delivered a now famous rule that drew a clear line in the sand. He said that Lisa Bonet could be pregnant in real life, but her character, Denise Huxtable, could not be pregnant on television. This wasn't just about a simple storyline. It was about protecting a brand. The Cosby Show was built on a very specific image of a perfect, respectable black family. An unmarried, pregnant Denise would shatter that carefully crafted image. She was a Huxtable, and in Cosby's world, that meant she had to be perfect. Debbie Allen wanted to tell a story about real life, but Cosby was focused on protecting his idealized vision. The battle was over before it began. There was no room for compromise. Because Denise could not be shown pregnant, she had to disappear from Hillman altogether. Lisa Bonet was written out of the show she was hired to lead. The official story was that Denise dropped out of college, returned home, and later traveled to Africa. This move effectively removed her from A Different World. Bonet did return to The Cosby Show for a short time, but the tension remained. In 1991, she was fired from that show too, with the official reason being creative differences. The situation on set was tense. Actress Jasmine Guy, who played Whitley Gilbert, later revealed that she felt some of the producers disrespected Lisa Bonet in front of the live studio audience during tapings. This added another layer of difficulty to an already stressful environment. The departure of its main star should have been a death sentence for the show. But in a strange twist of fate, this crisis was the very thing that allowed A Different World to become a legend. The first season was seen as a weak and inauthentic spin-off. Pushing out its star forced a complete creative reset. It gave Debbie Allen the freedom to rebuild the show from the ground up, turning it from a star vehicle into a true ensemble show that could tackle real issues. This painful exit was the real beginning of a different world. But Lisa Bonet was not the only person who vanished from Hillman after that first year. Another promising young actress was about to get caught in the crossfire of the show's new direction. The casualty of a new vision.
When I said that, I didn't mean I didn't like getting a letter from him. It's just that I feel bad because he's written to me 3 times since I've been here, and I haven't written back.
When A Different World was first being imagined, long before it was connected to The Cosby Show, the idea was to focus on a white student attending a historically black college. The goal was to explore that unique cultural dynamic. Even after the show changed to be about Denise Huxtable, the producers still wanted to keep that element. So they created the character of Maggie Lawton, Denise's quirky and kind-hearted white roommate. Landing the role of Maggie was a big deal. The part was first offered to a young actress named Meg Ryan, but she had a scheduling conflict with a movie she was filming and chose to pursue her film career instead. Her decision opened the door for another future star, Marisa Tomei. Tomei got the part and became a key piece of the show's original cast. When Debbie Allen took over, she saw a lot of potential in Maggie's character. She didn't want to lose her. Allen, remembering a white student from her own time at Howard University, wanted to explore what that experience was like. She even pitched specific storylines for Maggie. One powerful idea was to have Dwayne Wayne take Maggie home for Thanksgiving dinner, only to have his mother be furious that he brought a white girl home. Allen wanted to use this to explore the other side of racism, to show that prejudice can come from unexpected places. It was a brave and complex idea for a sitcom in the 1980s. But all those plans fell apart when Lisa Bonet was forced to leave. Marisa Tomei's character was built around her relationship with Denise. She was Denise's roommate, her friend, her connection to the main story. When Denise was written out, Maggie was left stranded with no clear purpose in the show. The new vision for A Different World was to dive deep into the black student experience, to build an authentic community of black characters. As much as Debbie Allen liked Marisa Tomei and saw potential in her character, Maggie was now a loose end, a reminder of a version of the show that no longer existed. So, at the same time Lisa Bonet left, Marisa Tomei was also written out of the show. She was a casualty of the creative overhaul. Her departure had nothing to do with her performance or any drama behind the scenes. Her character simply didn't fit anymore. The show had a new mission, and the story of the lone white student at Hillman was a subplot it could no longer afford to explore. Despite her short time on the show, Marisa Tomei remembers it as a wonderful experience. She has called it one of the most fun times in her life and a definite highlight of her early career. She and Lisa Bonet were not just friends on screen, they were close in real life and were even roommates while filming the show. Looking back, Tomei has only one regret about her time at Hillman. It was the haircut the producers made her get. She called it an unforgivable haircut, a wavy shag with bangs that she had no control over. With the show's original stars now gone, Hillman was left with a huge hole to fill. It was time for a new class of characters to step up and become heroes. But the stories of how they joined the cast were filled with just as much drama and just as many secrets as the stories of those who left. It all started with a rising comedian who told one of the biggest lies of his career just to get his foot in the door. The comedian's lie.
Let me tell you what happened here. The company that promised us $15,000 got bought by another company that ain't gonna give us 15 cents.
One of the most beloved new figures at Hillman was the wise and funny Coach Walter Oakes, played by the comedian Sinbad. But Sinbad never actually auditioned to be an actor on the show. He came to the studio with a different plan. He wanted to be the warm-up comic, the person who tells jokes to the live studio audience to keep them entertained between scenes. The show's executives were very clear. They only wanted to hire someone who had experience doing that specific job. Sinbad had zero experience. So he decided to lie. During his audition, he confidently told them he had warmed up audiences for many big shows. He was doing great until he got a little too creative with his lie. He proudly announced that he had been the warm-up comic for the hit show Magnum P.I. There was just one problem. Magnum P.I. was famously filmed on location in Hawaii. It was shot outdoors and had no live studio audience to warm up. His lie was exposed. The executives were furious and wanted nothing more to do with him. Sinbad's chance was gone. But then Bill Cosby stepped in. He saw something in the young comedian, a spark and a charisma that couldn't be denied. Cosby overruled his producers and made a declaration that saved Sinbad's career. He pointed at Sinbad and said, "This man should be on TV." Just like that, Sinbad wasn't just hired, he was given the role of Coach Walter Oakes, becoming a key mentor figure for the students of Hillman. His big lie had turned into his big break. The secret on-set romance.
He said, "Thank you for being my friend."
Thank you for being my friend.
Because we were really tight. We were going together.
While Sinbad was lying his way into the cast, a secret truth was unfolding among the show's young stars. On screen, millions of fans were falling in love with the will-they-won't-they romance between the nerdy but brilliant Dwayne Wayne and the sophisticated Southern belle Whitley Gilbert. Their chemistry was electric, and their love story became the heart of the show. But off-screen, the actor playing Dwayne Wayne was in love with someone else entirely. Kadeem Hardison, who played Dwayne, was in a serious real-life relationship with his co-star Cree Summer, who played the free-spirited, quirky Freddie Brooks. For about a year, while he was playing one of TV's most iconic boyfriends to Whitley, his heart actually belonged to Freddie. Kadeem later admitted how difficult this was. In an interview, he said he had to pretend to be in love with Jasmine while being in love with Cree. Their romance grew out of a deep friendship. They were best friends first. One day, Cree confessed her feelings to Kadeem, and their friendship blossomed into love. Their relationship wasn't a total secret to everyone on set, and they were so comfortable with each other that they would sometimes sneak real, intimate moments into the show. Eagle-eyed fans have since gone back and spotted scenes where Kadeem and Cree can be seen sharing a real kiss in the background, a hidden piece of their love story hiding in plain sight. Eventually, their romance ended. Kadeem said that having to break up but still go to work together every day and act alongside each other was tough. But they remained professionals and good friends. This hidden layer of drama makes the on-screen story of Dwayne and Whitley even more amazing. It shows the incredible professionalism of the actors who created one of television's most beloved couples while navigating their own complicated personal lives. The new cast had found its chemistry. The show was no longer just a spin-off, it was a cultural phenomenon and a massive hit. But in Hollywood, success often leads to a tough choice. Do you stay in the safe comfort of a hit show, or do you take a risk and try to become an even bigger star on your own? Two key members of the Hillman family decided to take that gamble, leaving the show at the absolute height of its fame to headline their own sitcoms. Jumping ship at the height of fame.
I'm embarrassed because I've been telling people I never did Shazam, and people always walking up on me, and I'm just going to tell you what happened.
Sinbad, as Coach Walter Oakes, had become a breakout star. His warm and funny presence made him a fan favorite. After 4 seasons, he decided it was time to cash in on his popularity. In 1991, he left a different world to pursue his own show. In 1993, The Sinbad Show premiered on the Fox network. It was a huge opportunity. His show was given a prime television spot, airing on Thursday nights right after the mega hit The Simpsons. It seemed like a recipe for success. But the world of television can be brutal. Despite the great time slot and Sinbad's popularity, The Sinbad Show was canceled after just 1 season. The cancellation was part of a much larger and more controversial story. In 1994, the Fox network canceled a number of its shows that featured mostly black casts, all at the same time. Popular shows like Rock and the groundbreaking sketch comedy In Living Color were all cut alongside The Sinbad Show. This move caused an outcry. activist Jesse Jackson accused the network of institutional racism and called for a boycott of Fox. The network claimed the shows were canceled for low ratings, but for many, it felt like a targeted attack on black television. Sinbad's big break had been cut short by forces far beyond his control. Dawn Lewis was another foundational piece of the A Different World family. She played Jaleesa Vinson, the mature, driven, and older student who often acted as the voice of reason for her younger roommates. But Dawn's contribution went far beyond her acting. She was a multi-talented artist who actually co-wrote the show's iconic theme song alongside Bill Cosby and Stu Gardner. She was part of the show's DNA from the very beginning. After 5 successful seasons, Dawn Lewis also decided it was time to leave. In 1992, she left A Different World for a lead role on another new sitcom called Hangin' with Mr. Cooper, starring alongside comedian Mark Curry. Her exit from Hillman was strange and confusing for fans. Her character, Jaleesa, had just gotten married to Colonel Taylor, another main character on the show. But at the start of the next season, she was simply gone. Her character was never mentioned again, and her disappearance was never explained on screen. In a cruel twist of fate, her new opportunity didn't last long. Dawn only stayed on Hangin' with Mr. Cooper for its first season. The producers decided they wanted to change the show's direction, and her character was written out to make room for new ones. She had left a massive hit show for a new opportunity, only to find herself pushed out of that one as well after just 1 year. It was a tough lesson in the unpredictable nature of the television business. Both Sinbad and Dawn Lewis had taken a huge risk, leaving a sure thing for the chance at solo stardom. Where the world took them next.
Expect to see more of me soon, and don't freak out if you turn around, I'm standing right behind you. Sinbad, I can't believe you here.
The doors of Hillman College may have closed for these actors, but the rest of their lives were just beginning. Their journeys after the show were as different and complex as the characters they played, filled with incredible triumphs, personal struggles, and quiet, steady success. After the drama of her departure, Lisa Bonet made a conscious choice to step away from the intense glare of the spotlight. She focused on her personal life and on raising her daughter, Zoe Kravitz, who would grow up to become a successful actress in her own right. She did not chase fame. Instead, she returned to acting only when a project truly interested her, appearing in films like Enemy of the State with Will Smith and the cult classic High Fidelity. She later married actor Jason Momoa and had 2 more children, a daughter named Lola and a son named Nakoa Wolf. They have since divorced. Today, Lisa Bonet continues to live a more private life, choosing family and personal peace over the demands of Hollywood stardom. Marisa Tomei's career after A Different World was nothing short of explosive. Shortly after leaving the show, she starred in the movie My Cousin Vinny. Her performance was so funny and brilliant that she won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, the highest honor in Hollywood. That victory launched her into the stratosphere. She became a major movie star, building an incredible career that has lasted for decades. She has starred in beloved comedies like Crazy, Stupid, Love, and has taken on dramatic roles in films like The Wrestler. A whole new generation knows her as Aunt May in the blockbuster Marvel Spider-Man movies. From a 1-season stint on a sitcom, she became one of the most respected and successful actresses of her generation. After his own show was canceled, Sinbad did not fade away. He became a 90s comedy icon. He starred in a string of hit family movies, including First Kid, where he played a Secret Service agent protecting the president's son, and the holiday classic Jingle All the Way, alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger. He also had hugely successful stand-up comedy specials on HBO. But in 2020, Sinbad faced the biggest challenge of his life. He suffered a major ischemic stroke that left him needing to learn how to walk and talk again. His road to recovery has been long and difficult. In February 2024, in a deeply emotional moment, he made his first public appearance since the stroke. He joined his A Different World castmates via a video call during their HBCU college tour. He tearfully thanked his fans for their love and support, showing the same strength and heart that made his character, Coach Oaks, so beloved. Dawn Lewis's career after leaving Hillman has been a masterclass in talent and versatility. While she may not have become the star of a long-running sitcom, she has built one of the most successful and consistent careers in the industry. She has become a powerhouse in the world of voice acting. If you have watched cartoons in the last 30 years, you have almost certainly heard her voice. She has had major recurring roles on iconic animated shows like Futurama, The Simpsons, and the new Star Trek, Lower Decks. But her work doesn't stop there. She is also a passionate philanthropist. She founded her own foundation, the A New Day Foundation, which aims to provide support and opportunities for young people in underserved communities. She has turned her success into a way to give back and make a real difference in the world. Their paths after the show could not have been more different. But one thing has always connected them, the family they built at Hillman. Despite all the departures, the secrets, and the drama, the cast of A Different World remains incredibly close. In 2024, more than 30 years after the show ended, many of the main cast members, including Kadeem Hardison, Jasmine Guy, and Cree Summer, reunited for a special event. They launched a 10-city tour of real-life HBCUs across the country. The tour was created to celebrate the show's legacy and to promote the importance of education. It was so popular that the initial run sold out completely, and more dates had to be added. It proved that the show's positive message had outlived all the behind-the-scenes turmoil. The family they created on screen turned out to be real after all. The real reasons these actors left A Different World are a mix of conflict, ambition, and the harsh realities of the entertainment industry. These departures were painful and chaotic, but they were also the fires that forged a television legend. The show had to lose its star to find its voice. It had to be broken apart so it could be rebuilt into something stronger. The story of who left is a story of drama, but the story of why we still love the show is one of family, resilience, and a legacy that truly created a different world for everyone who watched.